down eventually. Waylander going in for a desperate tase attempt now. Fallen's not going to be able to get taken down by that. He refuses. But now Fallen's in an awkward position. We've got Molotovs flying all over the place, and Waylander's going to get taken down. Desperate measures, desperate times here for Flipside. Man disadvantage at the moment. And just the one rifle on Tashara.
And now SK, they've called the final push. We're going to take everybody through ramp, and there is the rifle. Shara picks up the first kill there, falls back down. There is opportunity here for him to do something. He needs a star performance in this round to do more work, and he's going to find it as well. The headshot coming in from Shara, repositioning. Now things starting to get really painful for SK Gaming because they don't really have enough players. So Cole is going to back away there. Shara doesn't need to get aggressive, and looks like he won't, which is very smart. It's allowing SK to sit in their despair a little bit longer as they're sort of forced to go towards the upper side at this point. Too afraid of Shara, and they'll make their way up heaven, down onto the bomb site. Ooh, Cold actually missing the initial chance there for the shot, but we'll get the tag eventually anyway. 2 versus 3 against the Pistols.
And the M4 of Shara, he's got 2 kills already. He's coming in from the main position. Flashes, but they won't do much to FNX at the very least. Looking through the gap now, takes on World at 2 versus 2. He's going to get taken down by Shara. There is no kit onto this CT. Cold Zero can waste some time here. He's going to take 9 as well. Shara coming in for the high ground, trying to cover the angle for his teammate. Is the defuse coming in here from Blade? It is. There are 3 seconds left. Cole, can he do it? Just in time. There was 1 second on the clock there, but he will not let him have anything. In the words of Vince McMahon, life sucks, and then you die.
So now Flipside in an awful position where they have to, I mean, they can't lose a single round into the second half. This really truly has SK Gaming written all over it right now, shutting down the chances of a possibility for a third map for Flipside to try to just clamber back on train. Which could, I mean, that could be very possible for them, despite SK Gaming being obviously a fantastic train team, but at least another chance it would be. But perhaps it is not to be right now.
Stress for the Flipside team. They have no rounds on their defensive half, which means quite obviously SK only require 1. They took a gamble with those ops. You saw the gamble from Virtus Pro in overtime on the previous match. They came in with those AWPs. When that doesn't work for you in overtime, in your last round, if you lose the first 2, there's just no money left. It's a calculated risk. They took it, didn't pay off for them, and they ended up in extreme poverty. They ended up on the street stand, 1 song, not even 2. They've got 1 minute 50 to consider their options here. You can see a very jovial SK. No pressure on them. They're a game ahead. They've got 3 match points. Everything's going in their way, going in their favor right now.
Yeah, I mean, when we first got to the shot of the SK boys, it did actually look like they almost had that air. Yeah, we've already won this. But of course, you can in a game of Counter-Strike, you can never feel that way. So you know, I imagine they have the experience to put 100% focus into just closing this one, moving on to the semi-finals. But we'll have to see if Flipside can come up with something. At the very least, I mean, the one thing that does actually help them in this situation is they do actually at least get to play the T side, which means that they can dictate the pace a little bit more. You know, with SK Gaming being able to play the T side and running around with double orbs and so on and so forth, it can be quite chaotic. Just being reactive to that is a bit painful, and we did see that the best chance in the regulation time was for Flipside to have a strong half was their T side. So there is definitely a glimmer of hope, a bit of light at the end of the tunnel potentially for Flipside, but they need to make sure that they can maintain their composure because, as you mentioned, World at it has been not just in that one situation, but previous to that as well, been missing some shots he normally always hits, and that cannot be the case if they want to win this match.
Really, that shot through hut window that he missed was a monstrous choke, and that may cost him dearly. The funny thing is, he is top fragging on the server, as well as Waylander. Both of them are leading in the frags. Fer is just behind them, but they're just not getting the crucial rounds here, at least not in overtime. But let's not forget, they have done well to recover to this point in the first place, but now they need 3 from 3 on their T side, and that may screw this. We've seen many rounds from both teams where they struggled with the time. They struggled to figure out what the CTs were doing. They can't afford for that to happen right now.
Oh, absolutely, and both teams have been playing generally a slower start, which is why it was so interesting to see SK Gaming at the beginning of their T-side of overtime. They ramped up the pace significantly, just in both of those 2 very important rounds. We saw them just moving so quickly compared to usually just waiting for all the smokes. And instead, you know, they were in a situation where they said, okay, we're not going to wait for the smokes. We're going to force the action. We're going to force you to throw the smokes in spots where you don't necessarily want to slow us down, and then we're going to push through those. So here it is. It's going to be all beginning now as we have Flipside, who have had a bunch of time to collect themselves and to think of options. Let's see what they choose.
Waylander moving outside. 1 up onto